style, my heart will know what to do. And if the stars are faded, I'll blow the sun to pieces, make it rain till the loneliness is gone. We could roll back time before we were broken inside. Leave it all behind, forget the world for a while. Or maybe we'd be strangers, and we never needed fixing. We'd be okay, 'cause we never met at all. I could be coming, floating through space, 'cause being lost in you is the best place. Let's go back to where we started. I'll be right here. Just follow the light, let me burn through your atmosphere. I'll burn for you. When the day turns night, you know where to go. You see the light in the sky, you know you're not alone. Maybe we could make it out here where the air is clearer and the blue, far away from gravity. I could be coming, floating through space, 'cause being lost in you is the best place. Let's go back to where we started. I'll be right here. Just follow the light, let me burn through your atmosphere. I'll burn for you. I'll be like a comet, floating in your space. 'Cause being lost in you, I'll be lost for days. Let's go back to where we started. I'll be right here. Just follow the light, let me burn through your atmosphere. Burn for you. And I keep burning through, 'cause I will burn for you.
We are live. I'm Ronnie James Harris of the Limitless Channel, and I'm joined by Jason William Laufenberg of the Awake Souls YouTube. How you doing, brother? It's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's Wednesday in like the middle of a vacation week for us. So things are a little different. It felt like a Sunday all day, like we're getting ready for a Sunday hangout or something, but We were just getting back home from a trip, and it was fun. We're going to be sharing some stuff with y'all. It was a truthcation, right? Some people do staycations. This one ended up being a truthcation for us, and it was great. We were super bemored. For people that don't understand that, we try to actually, the things that we say, the things that we speak, we try to manifest positive things. So saying be less to somebody seems contrary to our motives and goals. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. It was fun to get out. It was fun to film. I thought it was a great opportunity. All we did was talk about truth. We probably drove the people around us a little bit crazy. But again, when you invite Jason and Ronnie anywhere, be prepared, right? We're gonna sky-splain, sim-splain. We're gonna just splain everything. We just want to just share everything all the time. That's what we do. I'm super pissed off this week. I'm in Facebook jail again, this time for 7 days. Zuckerberg wants to burn extra hot. Sorry about anybody that follows me on there. You might not have realized it. Not only that, but they blocked my backup account that I had set up that I could continue to post with. So I made a new backup to the backup, but I can't add that backup to my channel so that I can post to it until I'm out of jail. So, you know, Facebook just really sucks. Shout out to Seth for helping me get the link posted up there. So if anybody was looking to see if we were going live tonight, they were able to find us. This is an absolute team effort. Hashtag TEAMYAHAWASHI. That's what we do. And tonight we're going to show you some Jason and Ronnie shine. We did some filming. We've got Venus. We've got Saturn. We've got fire crowns in the sky. We've got clouds behind the moon, the sun. Not the moon. We could have got that too. We got super good clouds behind the sun. Jason nailed an absolute beautiful sunset. We did a star trail test just to see how that was going to work. We ran out of battery. We were just trying to test. We got so much to share with people. I guess for the beginning here, we can just sort of just talk a little bit before we get into it and just see how's everyone. We got Joseph, Yahawa's daughter, Rebecca, Battery. We got everybody in the chat that usually here, even though nobody really knows that we go live on this channel. We're always on the Awake Souls channel, so not too many people can find us. So how you guys doing in the chat? Did you guys follow along on Facebook? Has anybody seen, because I posted clips from just about all these clips here. Before I was put in Facebook jail, I was throwing the clips out. Did anybody see these clips on the other side?
Yeah, so we are in absolute maximum censorship right now. Things are the worst it's ever been. The Awake Souls channel with the 2 community guideline strikes on it. The 2-week, you can't do anything, I think is up Sunday. So then I'll be able to at least put up on the channel that we're over here on the Limitless channel. So maybe there's some people that'll help direct people over here. Then you've been Facebooking it like crazy. And now you got hit with a 1-week jail. So our ability to put a message out that we're going live right now is this is the absolute worst it's ever been.
It was so hard for me. I had to create a backup to my backup account so that I could tag my backup account, hoping that maybe somebody would see that the backup account said that. And then I managed to go with the backup to over to the Ronnie Harris main account, and I was able to post a link there, but I doubt anyone even seen that. So, this has been the craziest. Like, we've been like super excited about the content that we've been having to share. I'm going to have to go out there and tell that dog to stop barking. We've been super amazingly bemored with opportunities to break out the camera. We got the drone back out. We're starting to shake off the rust because we are entering into my favorite time of the year. My favorite time of the year obviously starts around August 8th, if you don't know. And it moves on until about November. So in between August, we get my birthday, Jason's birthday, my daughter's. There's a bunch of good birthdays, all that go throughout these months. Jason's son as well. But what we end up coming up to is atonement, trumpets, and tabernacles. And the sky usually opens up. We get beautiful sunsets here in Texas, big sky. We get lots of clouds behind the sun and the moon. This is the best time of year that I've noticed. And I think this year we're just going to be absolutely just bedazzled with beautiful, brilliant light shows. And we're going to be filming it all, and we're going to be bringing it to you guys if they allow us to, right? We want to. We want people that add us as friends. You know, you can't even add my Facebook account. Like, I tried with the Ronnie Shine backup account. They wouldn't. There's no add friend. I don't have 5,000
friend,
and
Ronnie.
I don't have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I don't. Like, I can add people, which I do because I generally want to find other truthers and share the truth with them. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are in a lot of pain, right? Especially if you're woken up to the government trying to kill you. If you know what's going on, I mean, I want to make sure that I put out content because people need a foundation to stand on. They need scriptures. It just soothes their soul when they see people that are strong, confident, willing to fight, and are backed by the actual living creator who created everything that we see here. He's the one that we work for. And for them to stifle my ability and Jason's ability to reach these people, I love to share the truth, but I also love to comfort people. It's something that I've always loved to do. I like to laugh. I like to make people laugh. I like to just stand beside people and say, hey, I'm here. So we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about. So we went to Luckenbach, or Lachenbach. How do you want to say it? Luckenbach?
Luckenbach, Texas. Waylon Jennings and the boys.
No, we went to Luckenbach, Texas. We went to this beautiful place where they had a bunch of there was games. There was like 4 or 5 different venues where live music is played. They had string lights up. It's the way the floor cracked under my feet, the way the wood smelled, the way the string lights just glowed a certain yellow hue. I got to tell you guys on the other side of the screen, it was one of the most beautiful things that I've ever experienced in my life. Growing up in Canada, we didn't quite have the Texas feel, but I was lucky that I grew up with raw cut. I had a cottage that my nan had, or was her home, but the wood in there was all plank, raw cut, unfinished wood. So I did kind of grow up with that sediment, but to actually be here in Texas, in Luckenbach, to be in this building that's probably 110 years old, the ambiance, the nostalgia, the feel of it, I've never felt more at home anywhere in my entire life. And that was something that we also drove through the Three Sisters, which is like a bit of a mountainous area. Who knew? Here in Texas, that was incredible. And then on top of all this, we now have a new hashtag TEAMYAHAWASHI member who came and brought all of his free energy devices, not all of them, but a whole bunch. You guys, we have got some amazing stuff coming to the end of this year. In the next month or so, we're going to have free energy. We're going to have one of the best demonstrations that I've ever seen. We have a member on the team who's handcrafted out all the disinformation, handcrafted in practical, logical, simple ways of teaching people how the free energy concept is going to work. His name is Brandon. We're going to be promoting him a lot. We're going to have him on. We met him. He came and met us. Jason, why don't you fill in everybody on all these different topics?
Yeah, so we'll try to give you some context as to what this was all about. It was the guy that we've been working with. He just bought an RV and he wanted to go camping, and he invited us along. It's his fiance's birthday, September 11th, the poor thing, but she had a happy birthday. So we traveled and met them. We were staying in a cabin at this property, and we had been reached out to by somebody that's been following the channel, self-identifies as a TEAMYAHAWASHI member now, and really knows and understands the free energy scene. So that's going to be absolutely incredible. And so he came and met up with us. He's from the San Antonio area, and it wasn't that big of a drive. And he's quite the musician too. So TEAMYAHAWASHI has Ronnie's bass and lead guitar. He's a good lead guitar. Both of you guys sing. I can play keyboard. I can play the drums. Do whatever. I can't sing. That's the reason why I did that earlier, make sure that nobody ever tries to get me behind the mic.
We could get you in a certain vocal range. You got the low bravado voice. We will definitely be able to use you in different ways. Don't worry. Yeah. So yeah, I was not very surprised. Actually, I kind of already knew that he was a free energy guy, and he said he played guitar. I already knew. I'm like, all right, this guy's going to have some talent. He has an amazing ear to know what key any song is. He can play it on the guitar. So it's going to be a perfect. So I'm more of a rhythm and bass playing guitarist who sings, but I sing in a different way than anyone else on earth. It's a different kind of vocal. But he sings as well, the higher range. So we should be able to bounce off each other. And he's looking forward to making music just as much as we are. And we're going to get some electric drums. We're going to do some synthwave. Who knows? I'm interested. I might even do some types of R&B. So yeah, not only did we have someone's birthday, we met a free energy innovator. This guy's an artisan. He's into innovating. He's all in.
His own designs.
His own designs, exactly.
Are working. So he did the demonstrations, and we are witnesses to it. Like we literally saw that there were no tricks involved, and that he's able to go over unity. Right? You have more energy coming out than you're putting in, and we're gonna make sure. And he's got easy ways of showing this to people with demonstrations, and so that's amazing. I don't know that we ever get to the development of these free energy devices, because the Great Tribulation seems so close. We also have today marks the beginning of the fake Day of Atonement, right? The month before, the wrong calendar. So this is literally the month that I've been telling people that if they're off in the calendar by a month and it's early, that would be the month that I'd be looking for something psyop-y, New World Order type event. And we're still looking towards October 7th as the true Day of Atonement. So
of course,
that's
go
ahead.
Yeah, because of the celestial signs. And that's something that we're going to be doing over the next month, is we're going to be going into the celestial signs. We're going to be looking at what the stars are. Well, I mean, what they paint a picture of, right? When we talk about what the stars are, we're going to get into a polarized version of Venus tonight. We also have Saturn, Jupiter, the moon, and the sun. So basically a bunch of the superstars,
a star trail,
pun intended, superstars in the sky are going to be joining us tonight. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if
there's Longhorns. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
I didn't import any of the Longhorn stuff. I could do it on the fly though. You want to start with the Longhorns? Now that you got me thinking Longhorns.
Yeah, show people these Longhorns, man. They're beautiful.
Did you remember a number on that?
No. But I think it'll show up in a thumbnail-y type way. It's such beautiful country. I grew up in Wisconsin, which is so flat, and in fact I think being all the way up in Wisconsin, and we know that the water that's in Wisconsin runs to the Mississippi River, and then the Mississippi runs to the Gulf. I think most of Wisconsin's like 1,500 feet above sea level. So this area where we were in is like 2,200, and then it was these big ups and downs and all these rock bluffs all around, and I find it beautiful. I love the topography. I like the rock.
You got some great footage. These Longhorns are something else, guys. They're beautiful. They're huge too. These things are something else. I really do. So what's everyone in the chat seeing? We got Righteous Chick joined in. We got PJ CNET. I didn't say his name, or that's a guy's name, right? PJ. How you guys doing? Welcome. TEAMYAHAWASHI News Network. I had a really good time, Jason. Okay, I'm not really one for going anywhere or spending any money. I'm like a dude. I just like to go to the gym, come home, create content. Right? I do it in multiple ways. So it was nice to go out and actually get to see the scene. Again, for me, the place in Lukenbach, and I'm in this place, you guys, and I'm filming a vlog. Just a private video for myself just to remember it by. And I'm filming it, and I'm like, oh, look at that. It says Shine up there. So I come over, and it's the most famous beer here in Texas, and it's a town called Shiner, and it's almost right in the heart of Texas. It's not too far from here, actually. And I just thought that was funny because we are going to shine as bright as the stars in the sky. It's exactly what the scriptures say. It will be fulfilled. Why don't you add in, Jason?
Yeah, so I want to also toss in that, so imagine Ronnie and I going on vacation with some people that aren't like truthers like we are on YouTube. And imagine the dynamics of what would be involved, because that's all we ever talk about when we don't stop talking about it. So these people were exposed to, like in the hashtag in the title, the Simulation Nation Realization Vacation. Because what we did is we brought the toys along. We brought the P1000, we brought the drone, and we got to show everybody what it is that we can actually see, and it was fun. The sky put on a tremendous show for it, and like Ronnie was saying, we're coming into that season, so don't feel like this is Ronnie and Jason got this. And if you get something that has some zoom capability to it, we are coming into the season right now where you don't always get the clouds behind the sun, but it seems like the September, October region where we get these really fiery skies in the evening. The sun goes down and you have this layer of clouds out at the horizon. And those are the days. In fact, Ronnie was able to call it. So the people that we're working for right now, they were just like everybody else in the world before they met Ronnie and I, until they met Ronnie and I. They believed they were on a spinning ball, that everything was made out of atoms, and that the Savior's name was Jesus. So this is one of the amazing things. They're Christians. So it's just hard to have a relationship with anybody in this world if they're not a Christian, if they're not a believer in the Bible. And we have that in common. So when we're talking about simulation, flat earth, and that starts to break down, then we have the Bible that we can fall back on. And as Christians, he's strong. And so it was really quite the experience showing them all this. And I feel like there's shockwaves being sent out within this reality where walls are being broken down, where people are like, the lights are coming on, they're seeing things. And that's what we've been hoping for. So we just keep the pedal to the metal wide open, and it seems things are happening. Like Ronnie said, this Brandon, if Brandon lives up to his word, and I think he's going to, we're going to be showing some people some really incredible stuff.
I'm surprised he's not in the stream. Maybe I should share it with him. Make sure that he knows we're live on this channel. He did ask earlier. He had a great heart. He was a really nice guy. He, well, that didn't send. He, like I said, he's very knowledgeable. It was nice to hang out with him. Let's get into some clips here.
Cool.
Let me switch over here. 1 second. Let's get into some cool stuff, guys. We're going to bring you some footage. Jason did some excellent footage. Let me screen share with you, brother. Let's see if we got this going here. Yeah, there's the Longhorn. Let me see. Everything seems to be good. Okay, yeah, you can see. Everyone can see. Here, check this out, guys. Look at this thing. Y'all seen one of these things before? Look at the size of that. You had some good close-ups. There was a bunch of other ones. There's some other cute ones. This one's brown. Look at how cute look at the head on these cows. I don't know if you guys are from the north.
Horns.
But the head, they got
crazy horns.
They got these like cute, pretty little faces. They're just huge. And the horns are incredible. And they seem pretty docile too. They weren't aggravated. They're cute, man. These are cute animals. They really are.
Yeah. I don't think they would be angry if a person walked out there, like.
Yeah.
But I still wouldn't just walk up to one of these things without knowing how it was going to behave, because wow.
I think I would have.
Horns.
I almost jumped the fence. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it, but you know, they do got those crazy looking horns, right?
Plus, you don't want to jump fences in Texas.
Yeah, people will shoot you. People will shoot you. Well, if I just had something to feed them. He was looking at me strange there. See, you can hear me in the background going, I'm just talking to him, and he's getting a little aggressive. I didn't see that from where I was standing. Well, he's looking at you too, Jay. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
See, he completely heard me doing the... I was like, come here, buddy. What are you doing? He's so beautiful. He's got the brown eyes and then the black and the white, and he's got the black nose. The black paws. Just beautiful, right? Let me go switch over now, and we'll get into some other stuff. Let's see. That was beautiful. So that's your Texas Longhorn, and that was in Lukenbach. I can show you guys for one more second. If you look in the back here, it was all these mountainous, hilly range stuff. It was beautiful. It was called the Three Sisters, and it was like, what, 2,200 feet above sea level?
Well, I pulled out the iPhone Compass app. Gives you elevations, and I saw 2,200 a bunch. We would go above that, we would go below that, but that was the elevation. So where we live right here, we're at 1,000 feet above sea level, which is still pretty good. We live right on the edge of these hills. So what we did is we went into the deeper and thicker of them, and yeah, it's so beautiful. You have all these creeks and rivers that are running through those ravines because it's really rocky, but there's still that pasture land there. I think it's some of the most beautiful land around.
Here we go. Let me get this centered. Just getting it all centered. It's, you know, you guys, filming takes, you know, a steady hand and a bit of practice, and Jason does a really good job at it. So what you can see on the screen here is we've got Saturn, okay? And I want to turn the volume down. I want to make sure everybody realizes that these aren't places you can go and land on. These are lights, right? They're lights in the sky. But as you can see, it's got its accompanying luminaries with it. And then you got the so-called sort of ring, right? That goes around it, which they try to tell you is like Oort cloud, dust, and ice and stuff from like other moons, or it's just a light, guys. And you know, it's not reflecting sunlight. Stars, they have their own light. Some of them are blue and green. Some of them are golden color and amber, right? Jason, you want to add?
Yeah, Saturn's interesting. It looks so two-dimensional in this shot. That center circle, but and then a ring that goes around it. It's awesome when the camera, I can get just in a spot where I can let go of it and it settles, and you can get the total clarity as I try to move it and adjust it. The vibrations take away from it. But Saturn can be a lot brighter than this. So it's not predominant right now. It's spottable in front of Jupiter, but it's not easy to catch with the P1000 right now. It's faint. I was surprised that I saw the luminaries around it, like you do with Jupiter. But every once in a while, I did catch it like really crystal clear, even though it's not as bright as it can be.
So now we've transitioned back, because if you lose Saturn, like Jason just said, it's such a faint star. It's I didn't mean to do that. It's hard to get it back into focus. So if we go over to Jupiter, right, which is the scepter star in the sky, it sets the picture that runs across the sky. This is how we align which section of the picture is important. So what I found really interesting is the position of the luminaries in this shot compared to other nights that we've got. So Jason's right here, he's pulled back in on Jupiter, and look at these other two little luminaries with Jupiter. Isn't that beautiful? Like, wow, you guys, come on, we're just carpenters. We're just carpenters. And look,
that was the first night, right?
I don't think so. No, not the first night.
No, I thought.
No, because it was the second night. Because the first night, the moons, I don't even want to call them moons. The luminaries that accompany Jupiter were like splayed out like this the first night. We're going to get to that footage later.
Okay.
It's just beautiful, you guys. This is the thing. Like, Jason and I are truly, the only thing we ever do is we beg and ask the Creator, the Father, Yahweh, to show his beautiful place to the world through us, because NASA has lied to us so much. They told us that we can land on these places. They've just done nothing. Oh, but there was another luminary. You just got in so tight on Jupiter here. It was insane. We want to show people that this is actually what it is, because it does talk about in Enoch that in the end times, men will take the stars to be gods, and they'll worship them and basically tell people that they're going to land on them, right? They'll err in all their ways when talking about the sky, but the righteous people will announce the righteous truth to the other righteous people. That's what Enoch said, and we're just glad that we're able to actually stand up here and share the truth with the righteous people. You know, and that's it. We don't have an agenda. We don't make money. Everything that you see us do is all passion project. This is our hobbies. This is what we do for fun. We're not trying to get views. We are trying to share the truth with as many people, but for us, the truth is set up in a way that people have to seek it. They have to come to the truth on their own and learn it. So, and that's what makes it precious. If everybody in the world was here right now, it would take away the preciousness and the one-on-one interaction that we have. People are put into this situation with us for a reason. I guess I should switch up to another film now, unless you had anything to add.
No, Jupiter blew my mind when I found out that I could zoom in and see those luminaries next to it, and then sometimes they change their orientation, right? And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Just getting this lined up here. Oh, I got to do this all on the fly. This one was incredible. When we put the polarization filter on Venus, I brought up to Jay, hey, could you do this? And then Jason was like, yeah, we can do this. And he did it so fast. Let me make sure I got that. Okay, here we go. Let's check this out. Here's Venus with a polarization filter. And the main thing that I want to point out to everybody is that the structures and the striation of this luminary is something that we know that we can't land on. Okay, if this was like a planet or something, it wouldn't do this, right? This is something supernatural. I believe Enoch also says, and a few other scriptures talk about the stars being angels, right? And we ourselves are like the stars and angels too. But this stuff here, this is something that not too many people ever really get to see, what I'm showing. Jason, why don't you explain to people what the polarization filter is and what it's doing here?
So people that have worn polarized glasses understand that it's a bunch of thin layers that'll reduce glare. So you'll see more detail. If you're looking into a lake, you're a fisherman or something, you want to wear polarized glasses because otherwise there's a reflection. So when you take the polarization filter off, it's blurry, right? But then when you put the polarization filter on, you can actually see structure and detail to it that looks truly three-dimensional. The way I would describe this is sort of like a funnel cake. If you're at the county fair and they pour out the funnel cake, you can see the striations that seem to have depth to it, and that there's layers, and that there's a pulsating light, and it's pretty incredible. I have a Venus video. It's not up right now. Everything's on private because of the community guidelines. But I used the polarization filter when filming it and saw this, and then McCall from Flat Earth Photography, who's been gone for a long time, he had the camera, and he got the polarization filter and tested it, and verified that it's not an anomaly, and it's actually showing us greater detail.
True. You and Mikhail both did excellent work here. We got the big red spot saying, that's not Venus. That's a camera/telescope pointing to Venus, but not focused. When the camera is not focused, you see the camera/telescope mirror itself. That's what's happening. Any person that uses a telescope would simply adjust the focus, and then they would see a planet. Jason?
Yeah, the big red spot is a shill that the big red spot is supposedly on Jupiter, and we just showed footage of Jupiter and showed you that there's no big red spot. So he's a heliocentric shill that's in here spamming the chat and making heliocentrism.
It's fine. He can stay. He can stay.
Yeah, making heliocentrism look bad, but at the same time educating people on things like, so with Jupiter, they say it's spinning. So they say that that spot rotates around on an axis. Now, what we show people is the moon footage that we have, the sun footage. When there's sunspots and you can record them, if you're using a solar filter, you can sometimes see dark spots on the sun. If you time lapse it or you just film the whole thing and speed it up, you can actually see that those spots cartwheel both on the sun and moon. They don't spin on an axis. So we just debunk heliocentrism each and every way.
Yeah, it's retarded when you see the sunspots. They don't go around to the backside of the sun. The sunspots cartwheel through the sky. And what you're seeing here is not a mirror reflection of a camera lens. It's a polarization filter that breaks down on the glare. Okay, and this is what the byproduct is. Now, I'm going to switch it over now. I'm going to go to the footage of it not polarized when I'll show you guys the way that the stars twinkle and walk before this polarization filter. No, what are you doing? Let's close that. Because I love hearing the same arguments given from the shills. It makes me laugh because, where is it? Venus, is it this one?
Well, and there's other stuff that you probably don't know is in that footage. But maybe in that clip that you were on, towards the end, I actually, as a demonstration, take the polarization filter and you can turn it. So the polarization grid you can have aligned however.
Here we go.
And I demonstrated as I rotate it.
I got the money shot. Yeah, we could. Which do you know the specific number?
Well, I think you were on it, but it's towards the end when I rotate it.
But here we go. Now what we're going to look at is what, let's say you pay someone with an expensive telescope, and you might not even get this good of a quality, because the P1000 usually kicks the big red spot's ass all day long with filming footage. Look at this. Here's Venus again, but this time we have it in focus. Okay, I want you guys to see, this is the twinkling, wobbling, walking that we get. So when you get the most expensive telescope, they're barely going to have a better picture than this right here. This right here, you guys, is what the naked eye sees. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. This is the star twinkling. As it's doing its thing, this is the highest quality footage that you can get. You don't need to go and spend $10,000 to get this crazy telescope. You can buy
So this is a great point. I want to jump in right here. The big red spot. We need to know, if you're an astrophotographer, what lens are you using? We need to know the specifics of what lens you're using, because I know the focal lengths of telescopes and of cameras. And there is a 99.9% chance that you do not have as much focal length as the P1000 with a 3,000 millimeter optical focal length, 35 millimeter equivalent. So we want to know what lens you are shooting with.
Yeah, he's not,
because chances are it's super inferior.
Yeah.
So what we are showing you is the highest quality.
Yeah, this is what the twinkling star looks like. Even if you go to some of the best astrophotographers out there, who definitely I'm well acquainted with. Stay away from Crow 777, Aleister Crowley Satanist, dude. But again, this is what it looks like before you put the polarization filter on. When you have a star in focus, I want to make this clear because Jason and I were the ones that went around correcting people who were sharing it looked like a sliced in half apple. You know that weird shape you get? It projects this right here is the clearest. This is Venus. Walking, I call it like a dance walk. The star kind of twinkles through the sky, and you really can't really beat this. This is, you can get, like I said, you can make it look a little more twinkly and wobbly with a $10,000 telescope, or you can do it with, how much is this? $1,000 camera?
It's not even 100,000. No, I don't know what they are right now. So the big red spot is saying the 130 SLT with 700D camera, and he said you can increase the focal length. So what we need to know is the exact maximum focal length optically, all right, compared to 35 millimeter. We need to know the maximum without any magnifiers. You start putting magnifiers on there, and it's terrible. The quality of it is ridiculously bad. So we need to know the exact, 650. So you're not even getting a third of the focal length that we do. Not even a third. Not even a third. So this is 66.6% better than the footage that you have. So pay attention.
Yeah, we'll continue to show. Let's show the tiny clip of Star Trail. We can show that, and then we'll continue on with the footage. I like this. This was interesting. So we will be able to get a little bit better than this. I set it up. So I asked Jason to set it up just to put the moon in the shot. But as you can see here, there's different constellations that are popping up into the sky here, which I'm not going to get into right now. We're going to be talking about that at another time. But watch, check this out. There you go. We lost battery, but it was just a test anyways. So what it does is every, I believe it's 1 minute, 1 click per minute, maybe 30 seconds, it keeps the aperture open, and then it shuts off, and it waits another 30 seconds, and the star moves a little bit. It takes another shot, and then what it does is it stitches them together, and we'll be able to draw you guys the fixed path of the luminaries, right? So this is the way that it works. It's a time-lapse photography, long exposure, star trail, and we're going to be doing it with the east, the north, the south, and the west. And this light here is the moon, right? And you can see it's snapshot, 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 and that's where we ran out of battery. But it was just a test, because we want to start showing people how we're going to show. But the good thing is that we're going to start explaining all these different constellations to everybody, because we're going to try to paint the picture, and it's not going to be an easy class. This is going to be advanced, guys. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible, but we're not going to be putting the pictures of the lion or the Virgin. We're going to actually have the stars. We're going to learn. So right here, I don't know if we can see. Can I zoom in? That's not going to help. I don't want that. You guys probably can't see, but right accompanying the moon itself, this is in Scorpio, right? You can see it. It's a scorpion right here. Here's its tail. 1, 2, 3 stars. And then you have 3 stars here. There's the pincer, there's the other pincher, and there's the head. I don't know if you guys can see it on the other side of the screen. But yeah, it travels. This is the Scorpius constellation that the moon is in. And you can see the star trail, and that's how that works. Let's continue on here. I don't think arguing with the shill that believes he lives in a wobbling, flying, infinite universe that created everything from nothing, Big Bang nonsense. Let's continue to focus on the content that we're throwing out. Let's get into the most interesting thing. That it's a good thing we have someone here who believes they live on a spinning ball. We're going to get into, guessed it, clouds behind the sun. Here we go, people. Say goodbye to your reality. Let's play this.
Still a fucking ocean.
And here we go. There's a little bit of language.
Clouds behind the sun. There it is on the P1000. There it is in the regular. Can't really see it with your regular cell phone. But here you go. Clouds behind the sun. There's clouds in front of at the bottom here. Right? There's clouds.
So, okay, what we sometimes commonly get is a shill will come in and say the only reason why you think those clouds are behind the sun is because the sun is so bright that it blasts through the cloud, right? That's the one of the tactics that shills like this big red spot guy would try to come in with. But the problem here is we've got a poofy section of clouds on the bottom, and you can see them in front of the sun, right? That's a big problem here. Okay. What we're showing you guys is these clouds are what, between 3 and 10 miles away, maybe 15 miles max. I doubt it. I think they're closer than that. That means that the sun itself is closer to you than this bank of cloud. You can clearly see the clouds are behind the sun.
Clearly around it, behind it. Everybody can see.
So we're still proving the
That
Earth
even
is
work?
flat right now?
Simulation.
You know, I'll go with all of your theories, man. I believe a lot of stuff you're saying, but you know what? I don't know if I believe the simulation. I think that's just kind of...
So Robert, he believes in the creator, and he believes the creator created this realm. I don't want to speak too much for Robert, but this is what he explained to me. And he's just having a hard time understanding that reality itself, you know, it doesn't have to be a physical atomistic reality. The creator made the simulation. It's his. It's beautiful. Everything that he coded, everything that he created is super amazing. And it gives us limitless possibilities when we understand our reality. Our worldview shapes our foundation. It's the main reason why Jason and I are here right now, is because we wanted to know our true world view. And it brought us to everything. And now, this was my first P1000 Clouds Behind the Sun footage, which Jason already told you guys. I literally told Robert, I said, hey, tonight, in an hour and a half from now, I am going to absolutely demolish your world view. And I said, I'm going to do it with clouds behind the sun. And I called it way before the sun set, way before this moment. And I did it because Babe Ruth can be done again and again and again. In this reality, if you hold something in mind, there's a good possibility if the creator is with you, it'll manifest, right? When you're righteous, when you hold something in mind that's righteous and the creator wants to be more it, he will. And look at what we got.
You're playing a part.
Watch this.
Damn, it didn't work. I gotta film it. Here, hold on 1 second.
I'm about to go live on Facebook. Well, film a clip.
Look.
Oh, damn.
So, again, it was interesting the next day when we showed them this on the laptop, they were just blown away. Look at this, guys. Look down here. I wish I could zoom in more. I think I can. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger, because this right here at the bottom, if you guys look carefully, this cloud bank down here, this white cloud bank, you can see some clouds in front of the disk of the sun, and then other clouds, you can clearly see them going behind.
So
look at it.
Can you prove that they're in front or behind right now? Because
You would like, we were proving it to him. He was looking at it.
And I've got filters that I can actually prove it.
oh, yeah.
I've got filters. I can actually prove it. That
It's kinda
that right there.
front.
You'll see what parts.
Go ahead.
Well, this, I guess it was in the video. I thought you would pause it.
Well, we got more video to look at here. What do you want to see?
The filters. So the proof, right? The actual proof. So we can say all day long that there's no clouds in front of the sun there. The sun's behind it, or the sun's behind it and it's just blasting through. The filters literally prove that the sun is in front of the clouds there. Right?
Where do you put the filter on and off? It's not in this video. Let me go back because you brought it up.
No, I don't have
3
any.
times.
I'm talking about it right now, brother.
Where was the one? Where was the clip that you were talking about?
No, it's with software. We've done this over and over and over.
Oh, you're talking about the emboss software. I thought you said there was a
filters.
video. Yeah,
no, filters. The filters that we can apply to this, you can use gamma detection. You can You can bring up luminescence, drop it. You can bring up the exposure. You can do all these different things. You can apply so many different filters to this. So when you do it, it literally proves that the sun is in front of the clouds. Now you can see that there's a group of clouds at the bottom of it that's still in front of the sun, so that there is clouds behind and in front of the sun, like Ronnie is talking about here. And the people that say that they can't quite grasp being in a simulation, I'm just going to bang on this over and over and over, that these clouds that we're looking at here, Ronnie mentioned they were maybe 10 miles, 15 miles. And now we have the sun in between layers of cloud. In the heliocentric model, the sun is 93 million miles away. You would never have clouds behind the sun. In the fake flat Earth, the AE map model one, the sun is up 3,000 miles above Earth doing circles around a single polar point. So you would never have clouds behind the sun. The clouds don't go up 3,000 miles. And so the fact that this is all happening within your circle of sight on a flat plane is the literal proof that you're in a simulation. Now, sometimes people they're not able to put all those connections together right away, but we'll keep showing with the modeling, we'll keep showing the distance that this is happening around the observer, that is the literal proof that you are in a simulation.
Mm-hmm. It's impossible to miss this. You can literally see the clouds going behind the sun here. Okay. And this cloud, this is exactly showing us where the disk of the sun is. This part of the cloud is in front, right? You can clearly see it, guys. It's obvious.
I gotta film it.
I had to film it. There's no way that I couldn't, it's beautiful. Look at this footage, guys. Look at that. Look at that. It's so beautiful, you guys. The creation, the simulation that we live in, it's just beyond magnificent when you look at it like this, when you can see the wonderful things that, look at how it just skims the top of this cloud bank right here. Look at that. It's incredible. Right? These clouds are all going behind. They're coming out on this side. Right? You can see it, you guys. Come on. I'll debate anyone in the world right now. And I'm the one who's going to go out with the camera and film it. Right? That's how I'm able to do this. Albeit it does take practice. Like Jason said, you've got to get yourself a P1000. You have to get a close to $1,000 tripod because it's a front heavy lens. And you've got to learn how to tighten it. You got to learn how to zoom. You have to learn how to focus. You have to learn how to do a bunch of stuff. But once you figure this all out and you put yourself out there and you allow the creator to use you, you're going to shine. You're going to shine. Like, look at this footage, you guys. Look at this. This is, wow. It's so beautiful. You can see here, there's clearly, let me go back a bit. I zoomed in. I really want to show everybody. You can clearly see this little bit here is slicing. The sun is literally slicing this cloud bank. These ones are going behind. Look, I drilled right in to show you guys. This thing's in the way now. See, I'm a little sketchy. I'm a little jumpy here. I got to work on that. Look, this cloud is appearing from behind the sun. I should have stayed on that shot a little bit longer. There, I got it back. Look, all these clouds, they're not coming in front of the sun. They're clearly behind it. Right? Can you guys see that on the other side of the screen? I know Jason can see it, but I want to know if the people in the chat, do you guys understand what I'm showing you? Please put it in the chat. I know there's a delay. We can wait. Jason, is there any better? I know Mikhail had some good footage, but I think I stepped right up with this one, put my name into the hat for, this could be some of the best clouds behind the sun footage of all time.
I say we put it up as a candidate for best clouds behind the sun, in that over this fall season here, we're going to keep filming more and more and more and more and get better and better and better. And that we have a like an awards party. We can we can have a hangout where we vote on what the best clouds behind the sun is, and then we'll really put up some fanfare for the best footage that comes out. But this is a strong contender because it's smashing pretty much everything that we've had before. And we'll throw the filters on it for everybody. We'll put out the videos and
yeah, because when you throw the emboss filter that Jason's talking about on top of this, what it does is it starts mapping out the depth of everything in the shot. And you'll clearly see that this edge of this cloud, you're going to see is clearly in front of the disk of the sun. And you're going to see this edge here of the cloud. You're going to see it come in behind the sun. There's no way around it, you guys. The emboss filter is a slam dunk. It is. It's not a competition. I staged it just saying that I don't think I've seen any footage as conclusive as this yet. Now, I know Nowie Jaw has some amazing footage. You have amazing footage. Mikel has amazing footage, right? But this one here, because it has the different banks and the way that the clouds are wispy but still going behind and then thicker, it really gives us a broad view of how the sun is literally right there.
But see, nobody else with their footage has 4 eyewitnesses, right? So there you were controlling the camera, and I was there, Robert was there, his fiance was there, and you were live, you were on Facebook too, right?
Yeah, while I was filming here with the camera, you can hear here, I'll pull that clip up. I said I gotta go live.
Okay, hold on. I gotta.
Oh, I'm just telling here.
Hold on. I gotta film.
Okay,
So,
but I mean, you know,
so not only was I filming it, I grabbed my phone.
So if it's that big,
Where's this section?
you got a Mac A&M.
Let's skip it.
So Kevin had it all the way an engineer. That on
It's just a quick clip that I took.
Your Mac, it's a lot. Spike the rotation. But I'm
Robert's loud. He's having a good time.
You're saying
12 hours.
I can't find that spot.
okay. So I can stare at it right now.
Yeah.
Ronnie, this is what I'm going to take
Look.
you to.
Here, this is where I'm live.
So if you have a flat Earth, how can you have an equator?
The clouds in front of, and those clouds are behind.
Right there is what I'm going to take
Look.
you to.
Okay.
It's the fact that we can see.
So this is what I shared on Facebook, but I shared the cell phone footage of the monitor on the camera. Now what I'm bringing you guys is the 1080 version from the raw file off of the camera, right? We're bringing it to the next level. That's why I'm saying anybody that showed up here from Facebook, you guys all get the super high level understanding of this. You get the clearer picture.
Look.
I don't know. You know, if I had to guess, it looks like about 10 miles.
Take your glass off and
No.
stare.
Okay.
Clouds in front of and
See,
behind.
there's a cloud in front of it, and
I see the cloud. I can't tell if it's in front of it.
Wake up.
okay. So I can stare at it right now.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, we then showed Robert this footage. Jason, you showed him the next day, right?
Was it the next day? Yeah, I think it was the next day. We took the card, threw it in the laptop, and showed everybody on a bigger screen because we were just seeing it off of the display screen on the camera, right? So the resolution's not that great on it, but you could still see it looking at that little display screen on the camera. But once you put it up on the laptop, and this is all shot 4K, 60 frames per second, you can blow that up pretty big. 4K looks good, you know, up to, I don't know, 75 inches or something. So I know that this footage right now that you're getting is probably just 1080 in the live stream, everyone. But as we put this footage out in videos and use it, we'll have it at the full 4K. So you could put it up on a 75, 80-inch TV and really, really see clearly the clouds are behind the sun.
There's really no doubt in my mind, especially with this footage. But there never was. I've seen this for years. I put out a video in 2015 with the clouds behind the moon and the sun. But now you can clearly see, so we've got in front, behind. You know, it was just beautiful, right? The way that they lined up that day.
Yeah, well, we're coming into that season. Anybody can do this. So when I got my camera, I did it. I showed people. Then there was a whole group of people that went out and got the camera, and right away got the same conclusions and put up their footage. And we went through the whole testing phase of it. There was a whole group of us YouTubers that were putting the filters on and looking at it. And the only people that deny it are just shills. Like, they have to be straight up shills, because even just a normal heliocentrist that you pull off of the street, when you show this to them, I mean, as soon as they see it, they understand that it's in front of you. You can see the way it's illuminated, the way it cuts through the bank. Your mind can clearly understand that there's some of those clouds going behind and some are in front, and it's passing through the middle. It's going to descend through that layer. It just really set up for you. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I just was blown away. And again, I want people to know that when you speak righteously and you want to enact the Father's will, he's going to do it. He's going to use you. It's not even a question. I guarantee you, if you put the work in, you're going to have the revelation. He wants to share truth with people. It's just that people don't ask to share it. You know, even Solomon, you know, if he had have asked for a loving heart instead of just knowledge, you know, maybe there wouldn't have been as much problems that, you know, the descendants of Israel went through, right? But so let's move on now. I don't think we could continue to just go over this over and over again, but I'd like to show, let's look at the moon now. Let's look at the moon. Jason got some great video of the moon and Jupiter. Let's look at this. This is, again, so the things in the sky are lights, right? They're lit by themselves. They get energized partially by the sun. That is true. But let's have a look at this. Look at this moon. This is amazing.
This is the first time I've seen it.
So here's the moon. And it's incredible how close we can really drill in on the moon, right? I know you're in the chat. But again, people can see, and again, the moon doesn't look like a sphere. It looks more, it has a bit of like a cookie shape. And then we get to this area where there's nothing, right? And we can actually, I've got video footage of it where we can see blue behind the moon. And what happened was NASA had to come out and say, well, Earth has a glow, the blue hue glow, and it actually extends out 480,000 miles. So the moon is enveloped by the blue, because we were able to show them, hey, the people, you could see through the moon. Like, that doesn't work in the heliocentric model, you guys. If the moon was in outer space, in blackness, and we saw it in the sky, and half of it was not illuminated, and that other half was black, it should be black. You shouldn't see sky blue behind the moon. And you do. It's ridiculous what they try to teach here. The things that they've tried to get away with. It's really gross. Look at this. You can see in this looking like crater thing. You can Jason gets in on it. You can see some crazy stuff going on in that crater down here.
Yeah, the moon was exceptionally clear.
Yeah, it was
exceptionally
nice.
Clear. And this footage isn't doing it justice. You'll be able to see it better when we put it out 4K. Mm-hmm. But
now you've switched over, and you're going to go in on Jupiter again, I think, right?
Yeah. So is this the one? Yeah, it's got a different configuration with those.
This was the first
accompanying lights.
Yes, the luminaries that they accompany with Jupiter. They had them closer, or maybe you were filming Neptune. I don't know. No, it was Jupiter.
It was Jupiter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't want to second guess. I know what it was. We know. We could cite it. But so here's Jupiter now with its accompanying luminary. So this is what the big red spot is going to tell you that is a planet that we can go and land on. This light in the sky with other little lights with it. That's how they mind control you, psyop you to believing nonsense. When we can zoom in with our own cameras and we can see this isn't a solid object in the sky. It's a light. It twinkles and dances like a star, right? That's not the way that a so-called planet would be. Yeah, you can get rid of that guy. I'm tired of his nonsense. He thinks this is a planet, right? Oh, I can zoom in with my telescope and I'll show you a planet. No, you absolutely cannot. Right? So here we've got Jupiter. It's a little bouncy. We were just getting going. Like, we haven't brought the tools out in a while. Let's continue on and look at some other footage. But yeah, this is so much fun that we got to do this. Let's watch the sunset. You nailed this. You set this up nice. Take it all the way over. Yeah, so I'll show people how you do this. And there was like a slight drift to the camera. Again, I think you've got to work on the tripod itself. Some of the adjustments need to be
the head was not staying.
It's tough, right?
Stabilized where I needed it to for shots. It was drifting on me, so it meant I had to adjust more, and it took longer to get it in frame and just be able to let it settle.
Yeah, Antichrist spot.
Sorry. Yeah, just check this out. So he's got the camera set up. I'll run through it quick. This thing kind of gets in the way, doesn't it? Let's see here. You can see. So he gets it set up. So we're on. Okay, here we go. This is what I wanted to go to first. This footage right here is exactly what I'm trying to explain to people. If the moon was 250,000 miles away in outer space, right? There's no way you could have sky blue in the sections of the moon where it's not. Okay, do you guys, I hope the people on the other side of the screen here are understanding what I'm explaining. So this is not possible in a heliocentric model. This moon has to be super close, and we can also deduce that it's almost a half moon. So we were approaching Sabbath. Sabbath is the half moon. So the moon itself is a clock. Okay, we start our month, we get the new moon. It's just a tiny sliver. As the sun sets, we see the sliver, right? That's the new month, right? And then we go 7 more days and we get a half moon, right? Then we go 7 more days and we get a full moon. Then we go 7 more days and we get another half moon. Then we go 7 more days and we get no moon. And then when we get that tiny sliver again, the next month starts. That's how it works. It's so easy. You don't need a watch to tell the time of the month. You don't need a calendar. You just need to look up in the sky. But the most important thing that I want to bring home with everyone today is that the moon is definitely in the Earth's sky, close, super local. And you could tell because it's in the blue here, right there. If this was a solid object, if we lived in an atomistic heliocentric model, you would never have only half of a moon exposed in the sky. You would still see this half of the moon. Guys, if this half of the moon is here, if this is a full moon at one point, like, I really want people to understand that I'm saying this footage right here proves that the moon is a supernatural projection in the sky, for the lack of a better word. You can't make half of a solid physical atomistic object disappear. You can't. Even if the sun was only supposedly shining on this side of the moon, you would still see glare and stuff on this side of the moon, you guys. It's so ridiculous. When you do the angles and you match it all up, it absolutely falls on its face. On top of the fact that you can see blue sky through the disappeared part of the moon. I wish I could explain this better. I'm going to work on articulating my words better. I really want to work on this, because this right here, there literally is no section. The moon section is, where did it go? It's gone? Jason?
Yeah, there's no black rock there. It's not if that was a rock, the backside would just be dark. Right? You'd see a black spot there. You wouldn't see blue sky. You're just seeing pure blue sky. And so many people have done this. And when we put the filters on the clouds behind the sun, we can put the filters on this and show you that that's just pure blue sky. There's nothing else there. Pure emptiness. Right? The only thing that's there is the lit up portion of it. And both during the day and the night, but the day really makes it obvious, because when it's blue like that, in fact, there's sometimes you can, when you zoom in, you can sort of see the blueness in what they call the seas, like those bigger, darker spots. And sometimes you'll see blueness through that as well. So it's just a light in the sky that changes its how full it is, right?
Yeah,
it goes from nothing to full, and it's designed in a way that because of its path and where the sun is, it's always lit on the sun side, but because of the differing days, the way the Hebrew month works, the way the month works, we just go from full moon to no moon. Another thing is we're talking about the cartwheeling of the sun and the moon. So there's the moon. If you time lapse that and just film it this whole time, you'll see that it's cartwheeling. There's another heliocentric debunk. They have the moon fixed where it never changes its orientation, but they don't have it cartwheeling through the sky. They don't. So there's so many different ways that you can use the moon to prove that we are in a simulation. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, all glory goes to Yahweh too, the father of all living spirits, the creator of everything. Everything that we're showing, this is his painting, right? This is his painting. And you can see here at the bottom, this is the sun. It's descending. Jason absolutely nailed this shot. He lined it up just before, if I go back, just before, as you can see here. Wonder if I can zoom in. Let me make this a bit bigger so everyone can see. You nailed it, brother. You've got such a good skill with your timing. You're always spot on. Always. I appreciate that. It taught me a lot too. I wouldn't be able to have this stuff. I wouldn't be doing any of this without your help. But again, all glory goes to the creator.
Yeah, the localization of the sun to the clouds there, where you see those white edges where it's lit up the brightest, and then you see how it's, less and less white the farther you go away from that. That's such a small area. If the sun was 93 million miles away, we would see that hard whiteness on everything until the earth had spun, to a point that we couldn't see it anymore, and there'd be hard lines. It would be so easy to actually see that you're rotating, right? But here you just have this localized light here. You look around to the rest of the sky, and there's a whole bunch of clouds around you that aren't even lit up. If you look up in a shot like this, you're going to start seeing dark clouds, and the brightness is just so localized that you can tell that it has to be taking place within your circle of sight. Even on the fake flat earth, with the sun up 3,000 miles above these clouds, everything would be illuminated. All these edges would be washed out like we see close to the sun there.
As you can see, it's setting. Jason, perfect timing. And you guys can actually see, it's called the twinkling of an eye, biblically or scripturally, is the moment where the sun, just like this last few moments of it before it sets beyond the horizon. And it was hilly here, so it has a closer horizon than you would at an ocean. If you go to the ocean, you'll have the furthest distance to the sunset, and they're the most beautiful. But this was nice. As you can see now, it's starting to crest our horizon, starting to going below our vantage point, right? Not 3,000 miles up, because if it was 3,000 miles up, the tops of these clouds would still be illuminated, not underneath. Jason explained you can see the way that the light is splayed out in the image, that the sun is literally going directly into the ground there, for the lack of a better way for me to explain it to you. And that's exactly how Enoch was explained it. And every person, depending on their spot on the map, right, longitudinally, will have their own sun that will set into the ground for them. Each camera has its own perspective of the sun. That's the way the simulation is set up. Now I'll put that back to original size, and I'll speed this up, and you guys can see. Sometimes when we run things through, we can speed them up and slow them down. You actually see a beautiful painting that takes place. It's one of my favorite things. I know it's yours, isn't it, Jason, to do?
Yeah, so I do enjoy filming and documenting this kind of stuff. It's rewarding to me. It's satisfying. I like sharing it with people. It's a hobby of mine. I invest in it just to be able to capture this stuff and share it with people. But if you doubt any of it, I do recommend that you get it yourself and do it yourself as well.
So here, I'll speed it up. So he set the camera down here and there. You see the beautiful time lapse. It's better when we can adjust it better in the editing modeling software. But you get these crazy beautiful, like you can watch the light dance. It's enjoyable as an artist to be able to film this kind of stuff, you know. That's what we want. And we want to share it with you guys, and we don't want to do it for profit. This is everything that we do is just simply because we love to do this. There was a beautiful fire in the sky. Oh, there was this clip. This was where we had that crown in the sky. This is what we busted the camera out for, right? Before the star trails. Or the clouds behind the sun. That was the second night, right?
Yeah, I can't remember everything.
Yeah, the light rays don't show up as good. You
can see the anti-crepuscular rays are emanating up. So the sun is down, and those rays are splaying up into the sky. They're not like the most crisp that they can be, but they're definitely there. So we can always draw lines. Draw lines on each ray, and it's going to point to exactly where the sun is. It's called ray tracing in 3D modeling programs. So all those rays will trace to the point that the light is emanating from. Like if you have a shader in a 3D model or something like that, and it does 3D ray tracing, it just traces a ray to each point, and you can see exactly where the light source is on everything. That is how we can identify where the sun is. The shadows that are cast tell us its true location, and it tells us that it's not 3,000 miles up or 93 million miles away. It tells us that it's within our circle of sight, where these clouds, if we can see them, it can't be more than that. It can't be more than that. Something like that might be 10 miles to where that cloud is. Tops.
That's it, right? But yeah, the sky's always doing beautiful things. If you're watching, if you're looking to film it, it opens itself up to you. You just have to put yourself in the position to see it. That's what matters the most. So you got to actually get out there and do it. So out of all the footage, you know, I wonder what more do we have to do to show these people that don't understand how supernatural and beautiful this realm is. What more can we do, Jason? Really?
We just keep going. We keep doing it. We don't stop. We
have drone footage too, but that's not ready for tonight. We barely got home and threw this together. Jason had to deal with a whole bunch of issues with his computer and getting all this footage prepared. And then
I came home to a computer that when I went to put the memory card in, like the computer was just, it had a fit while I was gone. So we didn't have time to put together this footage quite like we'd like to, but we can still get it out there, and you can still see it like this until we get videos made with it.
Yeah.
And then there'll be more.
So I guess we can field a bit of questions in the chat. Other than that, I think we're pretty good for tonight. I feel like we, the father just absolutely bemored us. We also heard from Benjamin, everybody. He's fine. He's doing what he can. He's doing the best that he can, and he's getting through what he wants. He's put himself somewhere in a position where Benjamin is doing the work for the father. He is perfectly fine. He said hi to everybody. He wants everyone to know that he's good. And as soon as we get our chance to be with Benjamin, we'll film that, and we'll be sharing that as well, right? So main things to talk about tonight before we go is, so we clearly showed that there were clouds behind the sun. We clearly showed that Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, they are twinkling, dancing lights in the sky. They're not solid, celestial, physical, atomistic made-up objects with gravity to them. It's all nonsense, right? What else have we done? We've completely exposed the fact that all you need is a P1000. You don't even need this $10,000 telescope or however many thousands it costs, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so one of the things we had a shill in here, and we let him have his say for a little while, but it got boring. But for anybody out there that wants to examine this for themselves, I just can't tell you too many times focal length matters. That is what you measure zoom in, is focal length. And you're going to be hard pressed to find a telescope out there with more than a 3,000 millimeter optical zoom. In fact, you're going to find most of them just have a small fraction of that. So you're not going to be able to zoom in as far. The electronics that are in this camera are able to do the auto exposure adjusting quite fantastic. But if you want to go in and manually adjust it, you can do that as well. Then there's things like solar filters. So we've got a variable ND solar filter that you can put on there and you can adjust, and it will actually show you whether or not something's overexposed or not. Right? In the picture taking mode, it'll show you any place in that picture that is overexposed in like a preview type version, where it'll show it as blown out as in white. So then you can adjust your exposure to make sure that nothing's overexposed in the picture. So there is no overexposure in these pictures.
Nope.
We can prove it. But the best thing is for a person to actually go out and learn how to do this and do it themselves, and then share their footage as well.
Yes, completely. And the other things that we want to bring back to attention is the fact that we've got a guy on the team now that we've met up physically with, watched his demonstrations. His name is Brandon. He's going to be bringing free energy stuff soon as well. And we're going to be continuing to shoot the stars. We're going to get understanding out there of how the sky works for the righteous people. If you got a righteous heart, keep buckled up. Get ready. We're actually going to take this to outer space the real way. Right? We're not going to lie or psyop you with fake rockets and CGI. We're going to actually film it and show you guys, and we're going to break it down piece by piece. There's nothing that I'd rather do than fight for the truth and bring the actual true reality to you guys. That's what Jason and I want to do, and the whole team. Shout out to the whole team, all of Team Yahawashi, Viljar. We got Seth, we got Mimi. We've got Yahweh's daughter, the awesome #1 moderator, obviously online, in the realm, in heaven, #1. The whole team, all of you guys. Benjamin, who's down here, we're going to be seeing him soon. There's so many names. Joseph Bender has been a huge help to the team, commenting on posts on Facebook. Everybody's continuing to share the memes. By the way, while I'm in Facebook jail, if you guys comment on the truth memes, not just the lovey-dovey ones. I know some people just comment on those. The truth memes, that wake people up. That's the goal. The goal is to wake people up, show them that the reality is different, and that they don't need to do what the mainstream is telling them to do. You need to follow the truth, right? Make your decisions up in your mind. So we should be back Friday, right, Jay? I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'll play us out, but I'm going to let you talk a little bit before we end.
Yeah, not quite sure. Hopefully tonight at sundown began the fake Day of Atonement, the month off one. And so who knows? We'll see if there's some big headlines that pop off out of this. And we're hoping, we want the Great Tribulation to start so that it can be over with as soon as possible. But I don't know, maybe by then we'll have some things done with the footage, or maybe there's something newer, to talk about. But please, everybody, let everyone know that we are on the Limitless Channel for 3 months, because even when the 2 weeks has passed, I'm not going to be using the Awake Souls channel until the 2 community guideline strikes are gone. So let everybody know we're on the Limitless Channel, and get them over here, because I don't know, that footage that happened, a lot of that was special. It was fantastic, and it's witnessed. We had people there that can all attest to it. Some of it was done live, but yeah, thank you for
truth. I wanted you to get your, what was the word you coined?
Truthcation.
We had a truthcation, y'all.
Yeah. I recommend it for everyone. It's soul filling. It fills you up to understand the nature of your reality. It's can be mesmerizing at times, which is great, because we live in a terrible place right now as far as what's going on in the world. So if you can find a little bit of bliss in nature, I say go for it.
Where did they hear this?
Only on Yahawashi News Network.